Hey guys, and welcome to the Legacy on Chain YouTube channel, where the next chapter of legacy is written on chain. And today we are going to be doing a bit of research into some of the fundamental blockchains, I believe, that will be very important and vital to the new financial world in which we are heading into. So, today we are going to be looking at a number of blockchains. One of them is Stellar. I believe that Stellar is very, very underlooked and shouldn't be at the price that it's at right now. We are currently, as you can see on the Stellar website, where it says where blockchain meets global payments, tokenization, DeFi, and the real world. And as we can see here, it says Stellar powers borderless payments, asset tokenization, and DeFi solution for builders, institutions, and innovators worldwide. Now, what's so important about this is Stellar are going to be the rails of payment for tomorrow, right? So everything that is being tokenized, everything that speaks of cross-border payments, everything that speaks of stable coins, asset issuance, it's all going to be built on these kind of blockchains like Stellar, Ripple, which we will explore a little later on, Hedera, and a few others. Even though Hedera is more like a hash graph than rather than a blockchain. So as we can see here on Stellar's website, we can see some of the partners that they already have. Circle being one, which is a stable coin, Franklin Templeton, Fireblocks, the United Nations, Wisdom Tree, PayPal, which is a stable coin, Etherfuse, Bridge, MoneyGram, and the list goes on. So I would definitely implore you to have a look at this website and study it. As you can see, wallets and all kinds of other DeFi solutions will be built on the Stellar blockchain. Now, there's something that really stuck out to me the other day, which I really wanted to explore in this video, which is this post here. So when I say that Stellar is like the rails of in which value will basically move in the future tomorrow, I really mean it, right? So here we see a partnership that has gone undetected, unnoticed. There was no big news, there was nothing, but it's been posted here on their website, and of course you'd probably have to search quite diligently to kind of fish this out. So it says here, Red Swan Digital Real Estate brings tokenized real estate to the Stellar network, right? Speaking on tokenization of real estate assets. So I'll read the first paragraph really quickly, which will probably give us a bit of context as to what this partnership entails. It says real estate is one of the most established pathways to building and preserving wealth, but access remains out of reach for many. Geographic barriers and high entry costs limit access to this investment class within traditional markets. Despite a global market valued at 379.7 trillion globally, market entryways remain limited. So I'm sure it's going to go into a bit more detail as to what Red Swan does. Red Swan Digital Real Estate, a leading tokenized real estate issuer, is embracing the Stellar network and blockchain technology to deliver on this opportunity. With deep expertise in commercial real estate and capital markets, Red Swan brings critical infrastructure and an innovative range of tokenized assets to meet the needs of global investors seeking lower investment minimums, expanded access to new markets, and global distribution. This is major, guys. This is super major. So this is already telling us that from this share of $379.7 trillion, Stella's gonna have a piece of this for sure, right? So I'm gonna go onto the Red Swan website, which is here, which says Red Swan is a full service global marketplace of digital real estate investment securities. And I think one of the things that I would probably want to highlight about Red Swan and them coming on to or tokenizing real estate assets or real world assets on the Stellar blockchain is what it would allow is a low barrier entry for investors, meaning that investors globally will be able to have a piece of real estate, you know, for much cheaper. Like it's like having shares basically in properties, right? But with a low barrier entry, essentially, in comparison to the traditional way or the traditional rails of investing in real estate. So it's so interesting. You can see that, of course, on their website, there's quite a lot of extensive information in terms of to how that they're going to basically tokenize real estate. It's very interesting because we can see some of their strategic partners here, right? So EY, I saw Colliers there, which is a very big real estate group, management group, Hedera, Stellar, Coinbase. So it's happening, guys. It's definitely happening. And it's happening right before our eyes. It's just for us to really go digging and trying to basically pull out these gems and educate ourselves to know what is actually happening. So this is amazing, really, really amazing. Um, and I think, like I said, it gives investors globally a low barrier entry. So people can basically start to invest in properties across the globe with very, very little. So we can see here, this is probably a property fund of some sort, location in Qatar. It's interesting, showing you how much you'd probably get back on yield, 8.5% probably in terms of your return. Here's another one. I'm guessing this is in Illinois. Here's another one in New York, hotel on Rivington, right? Here's another fund. I'm guessing this is basically to build real estate across the United States of America. But it's amazing, and this is all coming onto the Stellar blockchain. Amazing, amazing stuff. I believe that a lot of value will be transferred through the Stellar blockchain, and they are basically telling us and showing us what it is that they are planning to do and planning to achieve in the future world. Right. So now, if we move on to Ripple, you can see that Ripple have an event coming on very soon. And guys, it's just really us familiarizing ourselves and knowing some of the things that are going to take place, because when events like these happen, I like to look at who's speaking, because it kind of shows me what kind of conversations are happening in the background. So we see the CEO of Ripple is here, Brad Garlinghouse. We can see the chair and CEO of NASDAQ is speaking at a Ripple event, right? Ripple Swell, which is very, very interesting. NASDAQ. So, these are some things you can make mental notes of, basically. BNY, I think that's a large banking group in America. Franklin Templeton, again, they've done a tokenized money market fund, I believe, on Stellar, and have a large partnership with Stellar blockchain. So this is amazing to see. Citibank, another banking group. BlackRock, amazing. I wonder what BlackRock's digital asset group are doing at a Ripple event. Very interesting. Fidelity, JP Morgan. Ah, interesting. So and it goes on. It goes on. Moody's, credit rating agency, State Street, I believe another banking group. DBS Bank, amazing. Got Coinbase there. Now look at this. Member of the European Parliament. Very, very interesting. So this will show you the kind of conversations that are happening in the background for sure. For sure. You know, Ripple being the convener of the event, don't just invite these people for no reason. You can believe that. So very, very good to see this and very promising for the Ripple ledger. So this now is another. Okay, this was a post that I'd seen on the Ripple website, how traditional finance is investing in blockchain, right? And it speaks and says the shift is undeniable. Traditional finance is making a decisive move into the digital asset space as blockchain unlocks cheaper, faster, and more accessible services and opens up doors to new finance use cases. Institutional blockchain adoption and demand is quickly ramping up. Stablecoin transaction volumes reached $700 billion per month in early 2025, and Boston Consulting Group projects nearly $19 trillion in tokenized assets by 2033. Guys, come on, come on, come on. Now, this is going to bring me onto the real world asset website, because we can see here $19 trillion will be tokenized by 2033, right? And here we are right now on rwa.xyz, right? And guys, we are only at $33 billion. We are only at $33 billion. So to think that blockchains like Stellar, blockchains like Ripple are going to remain at the price that they're at is just laughable. It really, really is laughable. This is probably one of the greatest wealth transfers we are going to literally see in our lifetimes. So we are at 33 billion. And here you can see, according to Boston Consulting Group, projects $19 trillion in tokenized assets. Now, if I go onto the RWA Real World Asset website and we can see the league table here, we can see Stellar is there in position 8 and the XRP, which is the Ripple ledger, at number 10, right? But it's amazing to also see other blockchains that are there: Polygon, Avalanche, Aptos, Solana. These are blockchains, and these are layer ones that will do really, really well in the future. They really, really will. And of course, we have to look out for ones that are not on this list, because the idea really is to be, some kind of blockchain that can basically receive that level of value that will bring this up to 19 trillion. So yeah, a lot of these assets, a lot of these layer ones will increase significantly in value over the years to come. Now, I'm just on the World Economic Forum's website and I'm on their partners list. We can see here, because we saw that Red Swan had a partnership with Hedera, and Hedera, I said, was a Hashgraph. We can see that Hedera is here on the World Economic Forum's partners list, which is so interesting, right? Let's go down to Ripple. Let's find them. We can see Ripple is here, which is amazing. Good to see, very promising, because you have to understand also that, World Economic Forum set policies globally, right? And these are the vehicles in which they are going to basically enable those policies that they set out, especially financial blockchains, financial rails of tomorrow. And lastly, Let's find Stellar on here. Let's find Stellar. Where are we with Stellar? There we go. Stellar Development Foundation. Amazing. All right. So you can see here, the Stellar Development Foundation is a US-based non-stock, non-profit organization that contributes to the development and growth of the Stellar network and the Stellar ecosystem. Incredible. The individuals, developers, and businesses that build on or interact with Stellar, a public blockchain network that connects the world's financial infrastructure. Guys, look at the language they are using on the World Economic Forum's website. Founded in 2014, SDF helps maintain Stellar's code base, supports the technical and business communities building on the network, and serves as a speaking partner with policymakers, regulators, and institutions. Amazing. SDF's mission is to create equitable access to the global financial system by using the Stellar network to unlock the world's economic potential through blockchain technology. All right, guys, I think that's enough for the first episode. And I think probably in my second episode, I'm going to go into a bit more detail, just that I'm very mindful of time and how long these videos can stretch. But I'm pretty sure that from the first episode, you can see that there is a lot of utility in these layer one blockchains that I have named in these videos. As time goes on, I plan to go and do a lot more further deep diving research, which I love. I spend hours upon hours and hours digging deep and just pulling out information and research to understand where we are heading as a global society. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. The next chapter of Legacy is written on chain. Peace out.